What's going on, everybody? Thought I would hop on real quick and talk to you guys about what I see going on in the markets right now. Today was a pretty bad day. As you can look, the S&P SPY was down 167 today. The Nasdaq Composite was down 100 points today, and the Dow Jones was down over 119 points today. What I wanted to talk about in this episode today was how to mitigate some of your risk in a downside market. One of the strategies that I like to use is selling calls against a position that I own. Now, a lot of people use either calls or puts. If you use a put to hedge a position that you have, you would buy a put. My strategy is I like to sell calls. One, because if I own a call option, which I do most of the time, call options have theta decay, which means that they lose value every day. So, my theory on how to hedge my position is if I'm going to hedge my position with another position, I don't buy puts because puts lose theta value also. And I don't want to have two positions that are losing theta value if they aren't going in the direction that I need them to go in. Because if you buy a put option against a call option that you already have, you need the stock to move downward in order for that put to make money. But if that put doesn't move in a downward motion with enough time, then you'll be losing theta value in that put while at the same time losing theta value in your call option. So, one of the ways that I mitigate that is to sell a call option. Selling a call option against a call option that you've already purchased turns your trade into another recognized trade that's called a diagonal spread. A diagonal spread is when you buy a call in a further dated month and then sell a call against it in a more recent month. What that will do is that will capture some of the theta decay that you're losing in your call option and also give you a negative delta, which would help hedge your position just in case your option that you bought goes down in value. When doing a diagonal spread, what you want to do is sell a call option either at or above the price of your option that you purchased. Now, in this example, what I'm going to give you is a trade that I've done where I purchased a call option for an Apple April 16, 2021 135 call for $7.20 back on October the 7th, 2020. On the same day, what I did was I sold a 140 call against my 135 call that I already had, and I sold that call for $1.24. Now, what that means is I've sold the right for someone to take 100 shares of stock from me at the 140 strike for $1.24, which means that if they exercise this option, I would have to sell them 100 shares of Apple stock at $140 a share, even though I only have a call option to purchase 100 shares of stock for $135. What this is a hedge against my position. The reason that I sold the 140 call was because I didn't believe that the price of the stock would get to $140. And for doing so, I received a credit for $1.24. Now, in the next section, what you'll see is on October the 29th, I bought back this 140 call for the November expiration for 47 cents. What happened was once the stock didn't go over the $140 strike, this $1.24 option started losing theta decay. As it lost theta decay, I gained a profit off of the sale of that option contract. And by me closing it out at 47 cents, I keep the difference between what I sold it for and what I bought it back for so that I could close this out and then go to the next expiration and sell an additional option against my contract. Because as long as you own a contract, you can sell a contract against it all the way up until your option contract expires. So once I bought this contract back, I went on November the 10th and I sold another Apple contract for the expiration of December the 18th at the 140 strike, but this time I only collected 30 cents for my credit. As the option contract lost value, December the 11th, I bought back this contract for 3 cents, which gave me a profit of 27 cents. Once I closed this contract out, it gave me the right to sell a new contract. I sold this contract December the 16th for a January 15th, 21 145 call for 84 cents. And I'll show you a better illustration of that right here. These are all of the purchases and sales that I made. The first purchase was an Apple 135 contract at 720. October the 7th, I sold a November 20th 140 call for 124. October the 29th, I bought back this Apple November 20 140 call at 47 cents for a profit of 77 cents. Next, November the 10th, I sold a December 18th, 2020 Apple 140 call for 30 cents. On December the 11th, I bought that call back for 3 cents, which made a profit of 27 cents. 5 days later, December 16th, I sold a January 15th, 2021 Apple 145 call at 84 cents. On January the 6th, I bought this call back for 12 cents for a profit of 72 cents. 5 days later, January the 11th, I sold a February 19th Apple 145 call for $2.15. On February the 3rd, I bought this call back for 73 cents for a profit of $1.42. 9 days later, on February the 12th, I sold a March 19th April 145 call for $1.70, and currently I'm up $1.09 on that call. So as you can see down here, the cost of my original contract that I bought, which was the Apple 16 2021 135 call, was $7.20. For all of the credits that I received for selling calls against it, I brought in, including the 109 that I'm currently up, I brought in $5.11 to go against the $7.20 purchase that I made, which brought my overall cost basis down to $2.93. So this is how I like to hedge my positions and reduce my cost basis so that I can make back most or all of the money that I paid out to purchase a call contract. Now, this is just one strategy to reduce your cost basis. Another way that you can reduce your overall cost or your average cost would be the average down. When you buy your contract and it loses value, then you can buy more of that contract at a lower price, which would reduce your overall purchase price or average purchase price. I like to do it this way, where I'm selling calls against my position, because in this regard, when you receive credits for selling calls against a call that you've purchased, you can then use that money to either purchase more of the contract that you already own, or you can take that money and use it to buy other contracts for other trades. So hopefully this will help someone as far as learning how to hedge a position and sell calls. And what I'll do next is go to an option chain so that I can show you how I choose my strikes. When selling calls against a position that you already have, the most advantageous time to sell a call which would give you a diagonal spread against your position would be to sell this call as your stock is rising. The reason for selling calls against a position that you already own when the stock is rising is because that's when you get the higher prices for the call that you're selling. If you wait to sell a call once your stock is going down, you're going to get less for the call that you're selling. So the best times to look for selling calls against a position to hedge it, or even if you're going to buy puts to hedge your position, is to do it when the stock is rising. If you choose to buy puts as your stock is rising, you'll get a better price for it, because as the price of the stock is going up, the price for puts should be going down in most cases. So in this example, as you can see, as the stock is rising, this would be the best time to sell a call option against it. And if we go to the table, before I go there, what I'd like to do is show you one of the reasons why I chose to do a 145 call selling against this position is because the 145 price target was at the highest level that the stock reached. And so by selling a call at this position or before it gets to this position, what you're doing is ensuring that if the stock drops from this price, that you will immediately start gaining value on the call that you sold against it. And if we look at the March expiration, as you can see, the stock is trading between the 127.5 and the 130 strike, which is around a delta of 50, which is at the money. If you look at the delta that I've sold on this contract, the delta on this number right now, currently, is 12. The reason for looking at the delta is because your delta can either tell you the probability of your stock price reaching that strike price level, or if you take the inverse of this number, it will tell you the probability of the price of the stock not getting to this level. So if we look at your delta number, it's telling me right now that this stock getting to the 145 strike only has a 12% chance of getting to this strike price. So if it only has a 12% chance of getting to this strike price, that means that it has an 88% chance of not getting to this strike price. And if you can get a trade with an 82% chance of success, that's a profitable trade setup. And when you're doing trades, what you're trying to do is to give yourself a high probability of being successful. The more chances you give yourself of having a high probability of making a profitable trade, the higher chance the numbers will work out in your favor the more you do these types of trades. Another thing that I wanted to point out, when looking at your delta number also tells you how much you will gain or lose for every $1 movement in the price of your stock. So here, with the 135 April call that I own, my delta is 39, which means that as the stock rises, I will make $39 because each delta that you have represents 100 shares of stock. So when you multiply this by 100, it comes out to $39. So if the stock gains $1, I'll make $39. But if the stock loses $1, then I will lose $39. So the reason for hedging your position is to cut down on the amount that you will lose in case the price of the stock goes against you. So in this example, with my delta being 39, I would lose $39 every time the stock went down $1. But if you look at the option contract that I sold against it at the 145 strike in March, this is a 12 delta. So if you subtract the 12 delta from the 39 delta, you will be left with 27 deltas. So my overall risk in this position goes down from $39 to $27. So for each dollar that I would lose on the 39 delta, I would be gaining back 12 of those deltas. It might seem a little confusing right now, but after going over it over and over again, you'll get used to this math. Now, if we go back and look at my original sale of this option contract, which was the March 19th 145 call for 170, I sold this contract for $1.70. and currently it's only worth 71 cents, which means that because the stock isn't getting to the 145 strike, which is currently going down since the stock is at 129, it means that this contract is lost almost $1 in value as time has passed. And as this contract gets closer to expiration, this value will drop even lower. And what I'm trying to do is let this drop down to at least, I'll say 30 to 25 cents, so that my profit off of selling this at $1.70 would be at least $140. So hopefully this will help explain how and why you would sell calls against a position to hedge your position. With every video I have, if you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button, and I will talk to everyone on the next video.